YouTube, how's it going? Frogs Angels back with some more NFL draft prospect rankings. The last position group before the draft, but we got plenty more coverage leading up to the draft and even after. But this video is for the slot rankings, defensive back rankings, guys that maybe could play corner safety, but I prefer in the slot, and there's good reasons for it. If you don't follow our Twitter, go ahead and check that out. Link in the description, Frogs_Angels. But let's get on to number one. Who's number one? Another pretty obvious one is Minkah Fitzpatrick, the defensive back from Alabama. Now, some people like him at corner, some people like him at safety, and then there's people that like him in the slot. I'm not doubting that he could play corner or safety. Very talented player, very talented person, very smooth, got great technique wherever he will play. Very instinctive player as well, can do many things. But the reason I have him under slot, those guys at Pro Football Focus help me out a lot here. Those guys are wizards, but they have the total snaps from Minkah Fitzpatrick. Combining outside cornerback and safety, how many snaps did he have at combining those positions? It was 32. 32 snaps at safety and outside corner combined. At the slot left position, he had 123 snaps. At slot right, he had 129. So that is the reason I have him as slot. I think he will be a great safety. I think he can be a great corner. I think if I had to choose between the two, it'd be safety. But we know for a fact you can plug and play him at slot, which has been used more and more and is a very important and hard to play of a position in the NFL. So I like him there. He's the obvious number one there. Sounds like he may drop outside the top 10. Is that because of the quarterbacks? Is that because of the other talent? Or is that because you don't really know where to put him? It could be a mixture of all those, but I know he can play. Number two is going to be Donte Jackson from LSU. We've seen him get a lot of snaps in the slot, but he's also got some snaps outside. He has the speed to do either one, but I prefer him in the slot because he's shown great skill there in the past. I do like his speed, and he's pretty physical for a thin frame too, so I like Donte Jackson. He could be a late first rounder, but most likely early second, so I like him at 2. Then there's somewhat of a drop-off, but at number 3, I have Kaiser White from West Virginia. This guy's fun to watch. Big hitter, good at reading plays. A lot of people have him listed at safety, but he played in the slot mostly at West Virginia. We've seen him line up at corner at West Virginia. He's also lined up at safety, but similar to Minkah Fitzpatrick in terms of where they lined up. He's much bigger. I think he's stronger than Minkah Fitzpatrick, but obviously not as good as a prospect. But he's fun to watch. I think he could sneak into the second round, but most likely will go early third. But I like him a lot. I just like him in the slot. I think the ability to cover running backs out of the backfield or tight ends is impressive. On to the number 4 slot defensive back. It's going to be Rashaan Gaulden from Tennessee. Very impressive corner. He didn't play much of safety. Some believe he will play safety at the next level, but I like him in the slot. There's some believe he can be a day one starter at slot. I agree he would have a chance to do that. Very physical, just downfield on the sideline. Wasn't too impressive for me to put him. He wasn't bad, but just looking at the other corners and trying to fit him in, I prefer him in the slot for that reason. I think he's much better at the short routes in the inside of the field, which is very hard to do as well. People have different talents. So I like him in the slot for sure, and I understand why people have him at safety. Maybe not the sideline. Down the sideline, man-on-man is the best spot for him. But I like Gaulden, probably a third-round prospect and possibly fourth. On to number 5 is Duke Dawson from the Florida Gators. Played some corner and played some slot corner for them. Physical at times, did not play good in the run against Tennessee, so that moves him down to 5. I know it's really one game, but sometimes in the run game it's a little scary, even though he can tackle. But very impressive corner overall. He comes in at number 5. Looking at number 6, it's going to be Nick Nelson. Nick Nelson would be higher. He would be 4 or 5 here, but unfortunate knee injury while working out drops him down, but still at 6 because he's a very impressive corner. He's either going to be a corner or an inside corner. For his size, his ability to cover on the sideline is actually pretty impressive. He can really get up there, make a play on the ball. So I do like Nick Nelson. I think if healthy, he'd be a very good defensive player in the NFL for a long time if healthy. Number 7 is Jeremy Reaves, a sleeper, a guy I like a lot. He's a slot guy or a safety, considered maybe a little undersized for safety, but very good playmaker, very good plays on the ball. Seen him in the Senior Bowl, make some good plays, Senior Bowl practice. So Jeremy Reaves is a sleeper to look out for, maybe around round 4. So I like Reaves there, good playmaker. Number 8 is going to be Avonte Maddox from Pittsburgh. This guy's been getting a lot of buzz lately. Only 5'9", so that's why he's down here. That's why he maybe hasn't been talked about a lot during this process. But very good corner for his size. Obviously, for his size, he's going to be moved inside. So even though he did play a lot outside for Pittsburgh, but very impressive, very good career for Pittsburgh. He comes in at number 8. Number 9 is DJ Reed, Kansas State. Much like Nick Nelson, this guy played outside corner and was actually very impressive downfield and on the sideline. This is why he comes in at number 9, because I think he probably should be tried out at the regular outside corner position, because that's where he's good at. But being around 5'9", 5'10", just under 5'10", they're going to move him inside. Whoever he goes to is going to move him inside, so I'm not even going to put him with the corners. But can he play there? I think he can do it. He's physical. But again, he played a pretty high level on the outside. He also can return punts. Very, very impressive at that. Number 10 is Saron Neal, a guy that can play corner. He can play safety. I like him as a box guy, maybe like a Cyprian. Very physical. We've seen him press at a high level. Sometimes gets turned around, sometimes lets guys behind him, so that's why he's down here. But I think if this guy has a ton of upside. If he goes to the right coach, the right defensive mind here, DB guy, he can be very impressive down the line. Very good upside for Saron Neal. I think I like him in the box, but if I had to choose between safety and corner, I think I like him at safety. Even though pressing is very impressive, but can he run with the guy downfield, down the sideline? That is the question. And then Darius Phillips, it comes in at number 11. Another guy that played outside corner, good playmaking corner on the outside, but because of the size, it's unfortunate. They automatically move the guys inside, so I think he'll get some tryouts in the inside there after he gets drafted on day 3. Plenty more slot guys. I always rank guys in the slot position every year. This isn't a first, but it is a first for how many guys I have ranked here. There's a ton of them, and I think as we're getting going in the NFL over the years, and it's going to happen more and more, because of their size, they're going to just automatically move. It's a shame, but because of their size, they're going to automatically move them into the slot. The best corners in the league are 6'1", 6'2" now. There's a few that are still under 6 foot that are balling, but most of the best guys are big physical guys. So these types of guys, there's going to be more and more of these types of guys. And there's a lot of defenses that, like Alabama defense, like the West Virginia defense, where they just have that guy that can play corner safety, but he's using the slot just so we can play all these talent that we have. We can play them on the field at once. So we're going to see a lot of guys with the experience and with the size of slot corner, which is more and more important in the league every year. It's very hard to play too. So think about playing man from the slot position. It's very tough, very tough. But that'll do it for this video. That'll do it for all the position rankings. But I'll have updated position rankings in a link coming closer to the draft. Follow our Twitter. If you're on our Twitter, you'll get that first. But I'll eventually put it in a video. Maybe I'll include in the big board video closer to the draft in the comments. So we have updates on all of these. These are somewhat pre-recorded because we got a lot of videos to get through. So there's definitely been some updates on some of these. So you're going to want to see, and there's way more guys on these rankings. I graded way more guys. So you're going to want to see that link closer to the draft. We'll discuss that more. We got plenty more coverage to come. We're planning on doing like a bold predictions video, shot or no shot type thing. So if you have your questions or maybe your bold predictions that you want us, we're going to have a few guys on the show for that to answer. Post in the comments, go on Twitter, DM us, tweet at us, anything. And you get a shout out in the video, so don't be afraid to do that. We'll like to include you guys in our upcoming videos, but the draft is almost here, so can't wait. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. That'll do it for this one. Goodbye.